The other influence, and for me, I don't know if Mark is still here, but kind of the ear-opening and jaw-dropping comment from the past session
Yes.
that Mark made, you know, that the person who's not given sufficient credit for people like Cage and Harrison is Arnold Schoenberg as a teacher. And you might be surprised to know that John is a grand pupil of Arnold Schoenberg, because the other one of the other important teachers in John's time at CalArts was somebody known to many of us and loved and admired by many of us, Leonard Stein, who was very central to this festival and to Monday evening concerts and all good things, new music in Los Angeles. And Leonard was for years Schoenberg's assistant, and then eventually became director of the Arnold Schoenberg Center when it was in Los Angeles, before Los Angeles, California, and the US let it slip away. You know, there is at first blush a seeming irony to your being a grand pupil of Arnold Schoenberg, but talk a little too about Leonard and his openness. And
Leonard he had the European rigor. He was Schoenberg's right ear, and I think that's why I chose to augment my studies with Jim with working with Leonard, because I thought somehow it was like eating my spinach. Maybe, Leonard had something that I knew that I needed, but I didn't know exactly what or how. And it turns out that he was absolutely non-dogmatic. He was just as open-minded as I could bring him anything, and he would meet me wherever I was at that moment. And you know, he had also been a hugely influential figure, a teacher of Lamont Young. Mm-hmm. You know, so this whole thing in the 70s, you know, that choice between Columbia and CalArts was a stark choice, because as Mark and Eva and you alluded to in the previous conversation, you know, there was this real sort of war between European-style post-serial, total serialism, and something else. Happily, we no longer have to worry about those things. It seems as silly and insignificant as the Debussy-Wagner wars were. I mean, what was that about?
Thank goodness for both.
Yeah.